There is indeed almost a civil war right now in America. I exaggerate a bit, but crikey from the pictures. And it's whipped along by reckless Democrat politicians. These rioters in Los Angeles waving Mexican flags, attacking federal agents trying to deport illegal immigrants. The Democrat assemblywoman who posted a picture of Donald Trump being beheaded. A Democrat deputy mayor urging protesters to fight. Here he is.
Leave our people alone because we will fight and we defend them.
And then, Greg, there's the appalling Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who ran for vice president last year, telling Democrats to actually get meaner.
Because I called Donald Trump a wannabe dictator? It's because he is. It's because he is. The governor's being mean and the governor's speaking out on that. Well, maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this.
And look at this U-turn from this hypocrite. 2 weeks ago he said that. Then a nutter, wearing a rubber mask, pretending to be a policeman, assassinated 2 Democrat politicians in Walz's own state, shot another, and now Walz is preaching love instead. Here he is.
Now's the time for us to recommit to the core values of this country. And each and every one of us can do it. Talk to a neighbor rather than arguing. Debate an issue. Shake hands. Find common ground.
Frankly, Greg, the man's a scumbag, but what is happening to America?
Well, Andrew, I agree with you absolutely, but at the risk of sounding like a pathetic, simpering globalist centrist, I'd say both sides of American politics are I would say both sides of American politics are pretty much equally guilty at this. Trump himself, I mean, Trump has a lot of pluses and a lot of minuses, but Trump himself speaks of his domestic opponents in the most often vile and disgusting terms and, refers to people routinely as rapists and murderers and criminals and crooked and all the rest of it. And I think, in a sense, this terrible conflagration in Los Angeles has suited both Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom perfectly well, because in America you win by exciting your base, and Trump and Newsom both got to excite their base by demonising each other. So I think there is a terrible breakdown of basic civility in America. I urge people to watch that wonderful movie Reagan. Not only is it a different time in America, but Reagan is just a different leader, you know. He'd just laugh at you if you insulted him. He'd smile. And I think both sides of American politics, driven partly by social media, are really very dangerously demonising each other, when the worst of them generally are that they're idiots. They're not really murderers and, wannabe dictators and scumbags and all the rest of it.
If you thought you're getting an argument from me, you're wrong. I agree with you completely. I would also add George W. Bush, Bush Jr., to that list of people that believe in civility even to their worst enemies. Thank you so much indeed for your time.